And we welcome you to Playoff Sunday here on ABC Sports coverage of the World League. We're at Hornet Field in Sacramento, California, on the campus of California State University at Sacramento, where today the North American West Division champion, Sacramento Surge, play host to the European Division champion, Barcelona Dragons. Last night, in the other World League playoff game, Orlando jumped out to a 23-0 first quarter lead against Birmingham at home. They cruised to the 45-7 victory, and they moved to next week's championship game in Montreal against the winner of this game today. And hi, everybody. Along with Dick Vermeil, Jim Valvano, and Julie Moran, I'm Roger Twibel, and we welcome you here on a hot, sunny day in Sacramento, California, where the temperature right now is 85, but it's supposed to get up later this afternoon into the mid-90s. Just a slight breeze. The forecast, scorching is a good way to describe it, and the natural grass surface here at Hornet Field. Right now, let's go down to Julie Moran. Julie?
Well, mammoth road trips are simply a part of playing in the World League. Just ask the Barcelona Dragons. They've been on the road, and they haven't won a single game since April 26. They've been back and forth between Europe and the United States 3 times in 4 weeks. They have changed time zones 9 times, and they have lost 4 straight football games for a grand total of 18,378 miles. And Jimmy V, my partner on the other sideline, this is not the condition or the state of mind you'd like to be in coming into your biggest game of the year.
Julian, you're right, but let me tell you something. All coaches are multiple personalities. And Kay Stevenson's just like that, too, because he's in the locker room, and that's where you're optimistic coach. You tell your team, hey, let's go get him. The Newt Rockney talk, we're going to win the World League. Then as soon as the team goes out, the pessimistic side comes, and you turn to your assistants, you say, hey, I don't want to play anybody who's on a losing streak. I'd hate to play Sacramento High School, Kay Stevenson said, on a losing streak, right? But then there's a realistic coach should take over, and that says, hey, look, our squad's playing well. We've been in playoff-type atmosphere, and we've won. Barcelona's depleted on defense. They've lost 4 in a row. Their offense is ineffective. I look for Barcelona, maybe their defense, to keep them in the game for a while, but in the long haul, Sacramento's going to come away a winner.
Okay, thank you very much, Jim. We've got 2 teams, Dick Vermeil, that have moved in different directions. Sacramento's won 5 in a row. Barcelona has lost 4 in a row. Last year, Barcelona made it to the World Bowl. They returned 26 of the same players. Sacramento 3-7. They made a complete overhaul. Only have 11 players back. What in this playoff game will it mean to have 26 guys who were with you in the playoffs last year?
Well, I think it helps them, but they have to be all healthy. Some of those guys are not healthy, especially in the secondary. Barcelona, for them to be in this football game, they have to play great defense. Now, they're capable of playing very good defense. My question is, can they play great defense with 3 of their 4 starters out of the secondary?
Stephon Adams, 85, and Eddie Brown, 88. The return man, and kicking off is Teddy Garcia for the Barcelona Dragons. Garcia, who last week had a chance to tie up the game against Orlando late in the contest, but missed a field goal. They lost 13-10 last week. One previous meeting between these 2 teams here in Sacramento last year, the Dragons beat the Surge 29-20 as Demetrius Davis had a big day for him with 9 receptions, 116 yards, and he will be a key, the tight end for Barcelona. As 85, Stephon Adams will down it in the end zone, and the Sacramento Surge will start at 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line, led by the most valuable offensive player in the World League, David Archer. 23 touchdown passes, just 7 interceptions, 61%, the best completion ratio in the World League. Eddie Brown, Mike Pringle, Tony Burrs, Paul Green, Carl Parker, the backs and receivers, and up front, Richard Stevens, the leading sack man, John Buddenberg, all World League, Brian Forsythe, Tom Rader, and Ernie Rogers, the offensive line, as Sacramento takes it 1st and 10. Handoff goes to Mike Pringle, and he gets across the 20 to about the 22. Pringle's been banged up a lot late in the year, as we'll check out Barcelona for you defensively with the veteran Bruce Clark, Mike Ruth, and Steve Alford up front. The backers for Barcelona, Lindstrom, Quast, Getz, Gilbert, and Aposky, one of their best ones, out for the 2nd year in a row from the playoffs with injuries. And then the banged-up secondary, 3 of the 4 starters out. Adrian Jones, the only remaining starter, the most valuable defensive player, Fryer, Woods, and Hardy. 2nd and 8. That's Pringle, the man in motion. A lot of pressure on Archer. He fumbles it. Looked like Archer got it back. There's a penalty marker down on the field. Good pressure right there by 61 Steve Alvord, the third-year pro from Washington. A loss of 11, a penalty marker on the play.
They were going to run an option screen, meaning they were going to check or throw the ball downfield if they could. If not, they were going to screen pass to the left. Many times offensive linemen do not set properly within that situation, and therefore Alford beats him to the inside and creates almost the turnover.
Dick, that was an inadvertent flag, so no penalty. It brings up a 3rd down and 18. The Surge, they've been terrific in 3rd down situations. They've completed 46%, but this is going to be a tough one. Out of the shotgun, David Archer. Plenty of time to throw it, and he finally just throws it away. So a good defensive series, a lot of pressure. Mike Ruth applying to David Archer that time, but he had some time, nothing showed up, and consequently Sacramento's going to have to punt as they send John Nees in to do the punting. Nees, 39.3 average, 4th in the World League. He's had 10 down inside the 20. That's 85. Thomas Woods, who's 4th in the World League in punt returns with 7.7 a game. Woods is standing at his own 45-yard line, so it should be good field position for Barcelona. But a fine punt by Nees drives Woods back to the 35. But he is immediately stopped at the 41-yard line. Return of 6 right there, as the man on the coverage was 85, Stephon Adams. As you take a look at Scott Ernie, the much injured, much sacked quarterback, who last week, though, completed 35 passes against Orlando. That's a World League record. 6 touchdowns, 10 interceptions on the year. He's out of Rutgers University. Lionel Manuel, the veteran, Tony Moss, Paul Palmer, Demetrius Davis, he's a key man in Woods, the receivers and backs, Ike Harris, Weesey, Sign, Glenn, and Hinkie, the offensive line, as the Dragons have it 1st and 10 from their 42-yard line. And immediately it appears as Ernie checking off at the line of scrimmage.
Well, they're in a bare defense right now, 8-man front, so they had to get out of what they had called.
Penalty markers go down as Ernie's going to go up top. He's got a man open down there, and he hits him.
Thomas Woods comes up with a big one right off the bat.
There is a flag down as we saw a lot of movement on the offensive line. Dick, as he hit Woods on that 57-yard pass I was going to mention last week against San Antonio, the Riders on 5 different occasions went up top on 1st down. It was open. They couldn't complete it.
That's true. And Jack Bicknell, the head coach, of course, at Barcelona, also deeply involved in the offense, told me he felt the corners were suspect. They proved it right there.
Illegal motion, number 85 on the offense, offside, defense, penalties offset, 1st down.
You know, Roger,
the man who made the catch, Thomas Woods, was the offsides victim for Barcelona.
No excuse for a wide receiver to ever be offside. He didn't have to hear the snap count. He can be out, he's lined up wide, look back into the ball. When the ball moves, you move. No excuse for that. Lack of concentration.
Offsetting penalties.
Plus what they've done now, they've alerted Robert White, number 21, they're going to go after him. So now he's a little more cautious.
We're seeing Scott Ernie now out of the shotgun. Jack Bicknell told us yesterday this would be one of the new offensive sets they put in for this game with 5 receivers. Ernie quickly near side. That's Dempsey Norman at the 48-yard line, where Robert McWright, 2nd-year pro from TCU, comes up to make the tackle against Norman, number 82 out of Little St. Francis College in Pennsylvania.
You know, I was always concerned as a coach of going to a totally new concept and throwing the football for one specific ball game like this, the playoff game, in that Barcelona going to the shotgun. That snap, for example, that time was very high. Many times you end up making too many mistakes with something new in an offense.
They'll go right back to that same set on 2nd and 3, and now the whistle by the official. We got a timeout down on the field called by Sacramento, and we'll be back right after this. You can see what Sacramento did their last 5 games and Barcelona their last 4, as we've got a 2nd down and 3 with Paul Palmer checking in as a lone setback. He gets the football, and he's across midfield and looks like he has got the 1st down, as we'll check out the defense for the Sacramento Surge for you. And up front, they'll go with 4 men. Mike Sinclair, keep an eye on him. He is a good one. Property of the Seattle Seahawks. Nate Hill, Bill Goldberg, and George Bethune. Basil Proctor, Michael Jones, and Corian Freeman, maybe the quickest linebackers in the World League. And then in the secondary, Robinson, Gerhardt, Riddick. He's their leading tackler, and Robert McWright. And that is a first down. 1st and 10, 11:34 to go. As with 5 receivers and out of the shotgun, Scott Ernie leads the Dragons. They've only produced 10 points in the last 12 quarters of football, being outscored 77-10 in those 3 games. And right off the shoulder pad of his intended receiver, Demetrius Davis. On the coverage there, 55, Michael Jones. And Davis, Dick, has made a huge difference in this team this year.
He has. When he's healthy, they play. Now, here they are, 3 wide receivers to the top of your screen. Man-to-man coverage, see, and he's working on it back inside the right side of your screen. And Michael Jones, number 55, got a hand in there, either on the ball or in the face mask. Davis,
with him, they're 5-1. Without him, they're 0-4.
He caught 11 balls last week.
2nd down and 10. Ernie checking off. Near side, he's got his man Thomas Woods spinning. Woods down to the 35-yard line. A 5'10", 180-pounder out of Tennessee. Michael Jones once again on the tackle.
Just a short, quick 3-step drop pass. There was an 8-man front defense up there. Too many people to run against, so he audible to this little short, quick pass. Now he uses his innate running ability to make him miss. Watch this. Another pivot move, advancing that football.
Woods now with 21 consecutive games going back to last season of catching a football for the Barcelona Dragons. He has been their most consistent receiver this year. On 1st and 10, they'll hand it to Paul Palmer. Inside the 35 to the 33-yard line where big Nate Hill, 6'4", 310 out of Auburn, will make the tackle.
Nate Hill is only the big giant guy on the team. He's the only guy that doesn't have great speed. He has great power. But Jim Haslett, the defensive coordinator for Sacramento, told me his #1 concern is if Barcelona lines up and runs at him. He says that's what we do the worst. We do not stop the run real well.
Hill started every game in Surge history, 20. He's the only defensive lineman to do that.
Well, he brings the load.
2nd down and 8 out of the shotgun. One more time for Scott Ernie and the Dragons. Woods is open. He finds him inside the 30 where he is hit immediately but eludes a tackle and looks like he finds the stick for the first down. The first man to get him was Junior Robinson, but he was able to get away from his grasp, and then Mike Sinclair finally came over to knock him out.
That's when a defensive back makes a mistake of trying to kill a receiver rather than make the sure tackle. You'll see from the right-hand corner of your screen, crossing pattern, zone defense. He'll appear up on top. You'll see him coming underneath right there. He gets him the ball. There he is right there. Wham. See, you should bend your knees, keep your shoulders up, head up, and wrap those arms around Roger, just like you used to.
Hey, Dick, you know, this doesn't look like the team with the fewest first downs in the World League, the fewest points, and the fewest rushing yards. They're doing everything they want right now.
Here's what they...
3rd and 1, a mix-up, and Ernie gets nailed behind the line of scrimmage. So a big 3rd down play, and Basil Proctor, 56, first-year player out of West Virginia, came in to get him.
Well, either the quarterback went the wrong way or the running back went the wrong way. But now you go into a 4th down situation. Boy, that's a bad mental mistake by one of the two.
After a real good drive right there, and that'll bring up a field goal situation, and Teddy Garcia will come into the game. And Garcia's had his struggles this year. He's 12 of 23, and this field goal, as they set up, let's call it the 37, 36, make it a 46-yard attempt from straight on.
2 for 7 from this distance.
And he misses it. Garcia has struggled all year, and he continues to struggle. No score, 8:14 to go, first quarter from Sacramento. 6 games, Sacramento's really picked it up offensively, and Dick, they've done that when they made a commitment to go to the passing game.
Well, you know, they have done a better job of getting the ball downfield. Their average yards per pass attempt is superior to anybody in the league, and their average yards per completion is superior to anybody in the league.
Out of the I formation, David Archer on 1st and 10. Play action. Going downfield. Just overthrown. The intended receiver right there was number 83, the tight end Paul Green. 2nd-year pro out of Southern Cal, Jerry Woods, 35, was on the coverage.
See, David Archer likes to go deep on 1st down. He's throwing 23 touchdown passes. 12 of them were thrown on 1st down, so probably most of them off play action like that. He was looking for a double zone. 2 two safeties. He didn't get that coverage. Still had a chance to get that ball in there.
Also, 23 times this year, they've gotten a first down by passing the football to go along with those 23 touchdown passes. Now to the shotgun on 2nd and 10. Once again, going downfield, the intended receiver there was number 88, Eddie Brown, and the man who got a hand on it was Charles Fryer, second-year pro out of Nebraska.
Charles Fryer did a nice job. He's been playing left corner. Now, you watch the secondary. They're not playing man-to-man. They're playing zone, and you see Charles Fryer right in the middle of your screen, sitting in there and playing like a robber position, watching the quarterback's eyes, moving in the direction that he's looking.
3rd down and 10. 4 wide receivers. And movement up front by Barcelona. A lot of jumping around by Bruce Clark as Archer is dropped inside the 15. So the 11-year veteran, Bruce Clark.
How can a guy who's got 11, 12 years of experience jump off sides? Oh, Bruce. Here he comes to be coming from the right side of your screen. You'll see him moving. He's going to go right up underneath Raider. Now he's going to keep on going. He said, heck, I'm this deep. I might as well keep going.
When you're the oldest guy in the world, like Dick, you're trying to get every advantage you can.
Yeah, and he wants to make sure his mom sees him on television.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Boy, he was a great one. He was a great player in his day. First to junior in college football to win the Lombardi Award as the finest lineman.
3rd down and 5 as 83 coming to the near side. Paul Green. They've got 5 wide receivers. So Green, the tight end, split widest to the near side. Archer is hit. And it's a loose ball as Archer was nailed by Ron Getz, number 56. Getz, the leading tackler, one of the leading tacklers from his linebacker spot, and with his 3rd sack of the year. So David Archer, who on this season was sacked 24 times, has been nailed a couple times already in this game, as John Nees will come in to the 20-yard line to punt it.
Of their sacks, 11 of those sacks have come from outside linebackers. They've had a hard time picking up the outside linebackers.
Nees' first punt was 53 yards, and he sends an end-over-end kick down this time to Thomas Woods. And Woods is hit at the 25-yard line. Big-time stick right there by 58, Randy Thornton, who in the offseason is a professional wrestler in Japan.
Well, he's also a hot dog. He better get out of there because he's going to get a personal foul called on him. No need in taunting. It's against the rules.
Let's see the Barcelona offense last week versus Orlando, 18 rushing yards and 4 fumbles, but they were able to throw the ball rather effectively for over 350-some yards total offense. As they have it 1st and 10 only twice this year as Barcelona scored 20 points. Their offense has just been not that productive. As Dick mentioned, the blitz, the intended receiver was Dempsey Norman, incomplete. Michael Jones putting the pressure on. Let's go to Julie.
All right, I just listened to Dick Curl talking to his offense, and he says, we are committed to keeping the ball in the air. Just like you said, Dick, he said the corners are suspect. You can look for that Scott Ernie, Thomas Woods connections. He also said we're going to go with Demetrius Davis in the flats.
There's a look at Dick Curl, offensive coordinator, Barcelona.
He would like to be able to establish some kind of running game, and when they do that, they're going to go with 3 tight end offense, not a spread offense as you see now. 2nd
down and 10. Palmer, the lone setback. 5:50 to go, first quarter. He's got his man. That's number 81, Terry O'Shea, who came into the game with just 7 receptions on the year, so that's his 8th catch as Basil Proctor brings him down very close to the first down marker. So O'Shea, 6'3", 240 out of California, Pennsylvania.
Roger, Terry O'Shea has been hurt most of the year. He had a back injury. Again, that was an audible. They were in that bare 46 defense. They did not want to run. They weren't in a running formation anyway, but they audible to that pass pattern.
Well, that's what Jack Bicknell told us. O'Shea, Demetrius Davis, their offense keys off their tight end. And really, for 2 or 3 games, they absolutely had no tight ends. As Palmer will hit off the left side and get maybe a couple of yards. Dick, are you surprised by what you've seen? I mean, we talked to the coaches. They told us we were going to do this, but they've had some success with it. Does that surprise you?
I'm not surprised by Barcelona's success defensively because they are a good defensive football team. If you evaluate them by the yards they give up, it's not impressive. But when you evaluate them deeply as a coaches, they're one of the better defenses. Sacramento has not been a fast-starting offensive team. The second quarter has been their big scoring quarter.
As it has been for Barcelona. As Ernie has it 2nd and 8 from the shotgun.
Woo! 38!
Across the 40 to the 43-yard line, 79 Vance Hammond and 55 Michael Jones come up to make the hit. Scott Ernie is a man that has to run with the football because he has been sacked an awful lot this year.
You'll see to the left side of your screen, number 75, Mike Sinclair, a premier pass rusher. Now, Brad Hinkey, 71, doing a pretty good job. Now, he might have him locked up inside on that jersey. I don't know. But doing a pretty good job of giving the quarterback time.
There's a look at Sinclair out of Eastern New Mexico University. A lot of people feel he'll start for Seattle this year.
Well, that's what we were told this week.
3rd down and 4.
I think Tom Catlin at Seattle, the defensive coordinator, will have something to say about that.
Across the middle, wide open, is Demetrius Davis. Davis pounds his way down to the 41-yard line where Lewis Riddick and Tracy Perkins come in to make the stop. 15 yards on the reception.
You know what happened early in the ball game when Barcelona went up top, caught the ball, it was nullified by a penalty and brought back. It has made Sacramento a little bit concerned about going to their man-to-man coverage. What they like to play more than zone. They're in zone now, and they don't play the zone real well. Plus, zone coverages are easier to attack with a tight end.
It's important to send a message sometimes in football, Dick, whether you're going to continue to do it or not, but just to let them know you can do it.
You bet.
1st and 10, they'll give it to Palmer, and he is stacked up on the left side. Nate Hill, 96, was the first man to get to him. This has been the bane of the Barcelona team, the running back situation. Palmer's been banged up all year. He has just 259 yards rushing coming into the game. Joe Mickles just 184. As a matter of fact, backup quarterback Tony Rice has been their leading rusher in 3 of the last 4 games.
They don't try to run enough, though, really.
There's a
really
look at Tony.
There's Rice, number 4, on the left side of your screen.
And I'll tell you what, the Sacramento coaches were fearful that he was going to play today because he started against them last year and tore him up.
He can run so well.
2nd down and 10. Woods was a man in motion. Ernie going down to the end zone. Big crowd down there. The intended receiver was number 87, Tony Moss, but he had 3 defenders around him. One of them being Michael Jones, who's all over the field. George Bethune was the pressure man. And we talked yesterday about the speed of those Sacramento linebackers.
Well, they're the fastest linebackers. They all run 4 or 5 or better. But, you know, talking about speed, the point we made earlier, the quarterback was flushed that time and being chased by the slowest defensive lineman. So he lucked out there. He was able to get the ball off.
2 minutes to go, 1st quarter, and if the game seems to be moving a little quickly this week, folks, that's because the clock is not stopping on incomplete passes until the final 5 minutes of the half and the game. Remember, they switched that back about 4 weeks ago. So this game's going to be speeding along a little bit better, as number 82 over there on the reception was Dempsey Norman, but they say it was out of bounds.
He was out of bounds. It was the deep out pattern. You'll see it moving to the right side of your screen. Dempsey Norman wearing number 82. There he goes. 1 foot down, 2nd foot on the line. He could have, with a little better discipline, kept both of those feet in. I think he lost track of where that line was.
Keith English to punt it. He leads the World League in punts. I don't know if that's a great honor or not. This is his 55th this year. And
nice job.
Speedy Eddie Brown is back. What a great high punt that is. It takes a big bounce. So that'll go into the end zone, 41 yards on the punt. And Sacramento tried to get it working with 1:41 to go, 1st quarter. And the total yards so far, Barcelona 60, Sacramento -8, 1:14 to go, 1st quarter. Archer's 0 of 4, and he's been sacked once for 10 yards.
You know what happens? Sacramento's like on a real good win streak, and sometimes you get a little too happy in those win streaks. That's what I always used to worry about as a coach. You see everybody smiling, and the only guy really uptight is the head coach. And you noticed that on the practice field the other day.
But Dick, you know, that 5-game winning streak by Sacramento includes just 1 win over a team with a winning record. That was San Antonio last week. The others were London, Montreal, Frankfurt, and Ohio. So the reality is some of the other teams they played weren't the very best in the World League. As Archer's going to go up top. Number 82, Mark Stock, is down there, but it's just overthrown. On the coverage was Adrian Jones, number 23. And so far today, this banged-up secondary from Barcelona's played pretty well.
They're hanging in there. Actually, that should have been 6 points. Dave Archer has not been missing that pass. Here he misses him.
You see the starting secondary there on the first, and then this last week, 0 for 5 for Archer. See, Hardy was just acquired May 19th, and there's another player, Herb Welch, who started for Sacramento, then was released, and now has been picked up and is playing for Barcelona. There's Jones, the World League Defensive Player of the Year. 36 seconds to go, first quarter. Archer down the middle, finally gets a pass completed. That was Paul Green, his tight end, number 83. Brad Quast, the linebacker from Iowa, was right there on top of it.
Neither team seems content to go ahead and run the football. Now, Barcelona defensive coaches are concerned about the speed and everything that Sacramento has, and they just proved on that last deep pass that they can get deep. But they don't want them in a two-mode offense, both running and passing. And so far, Sacramento really is just throwing the football.
As David Archer lets the clock run out in the first quarter, we'll return after this word from our ABC stations. As we get set to start the second quarter, I'm Roger Twybo, along with Dick Vermeil, Jim Valvano, Julie Moran, and it has been the scoring quarter in the World League this year. 44% of all points have come in the second quarter. As the Surge, they've scored 117 points in the second quarter this year. On a 3rd and 4 for David Archer, he goes to his back. That's Tony Burse, and he doesn't get enough for the first down. 55, Brad Quast made the tackle as Burse, who doesn't carry the ball a lot, but is a good blocker for David Archer, doesn't get enough for the first down, so the Barcelona defense comes up big again.
Well, when we get a chance here to take a look at the first quarter graphics, it's going to really demonstrate what you're talking about.
That's Woods back deep, averaging 7.7 yards a return. Nice from inside his 15. That's a beautiful punt right there. And the fair catch is called. It looked like the sun might have bothered him a bit, and it's going to roll inside the 10-yard line down to the 8. Thomas Woods called for the fair catch and then lost it in the sun, and consequently, instead of having the ball around the 20, it goes back inside the 10-yard line.
You can definitely see that he was looking up there, and you'll see now the sun is over and facing him as he looks up into it. Now all of a sudden he can't see it anymore. It comes right down through that sun, and the sun is intense.
63 yards. That's a World League playoff record for a punt right there by Nees, who earlier this year was also their place kicker. Now, the numbers. Go for it, Dick.
You know, surprisingly, Barcelona really dominating Sacramento. Sacramento's a number 2 offense in the World League in total yards and all that. Here they are, -4 passing, total yards -2, 2 yards rushing. Nothing so far.
1st and 10, ball at the 8-yard line for Scott Ernie. And the Barcelona Dragons, as he'll go underneath, his intended receiver, Joe Mickles, number 34.
Wait.
As Mickles coming out of the backfield was covered by Corian Freeman, number 95. Let's go down to Julie.
Well, Barcelona General Manager Jack Till, you certainly know something about football. You've been in it for 33 years. But what attracted you to the World League?
I think the challenge of it, you're like a missionary, Julie. It's fun to go to Spain and teach and learn and help and be a big deal. It's great fun there. It really is.
How have the people in Barcelona responded to American football?
Sorry?
How have the people in Barcelona responded to American football?
Our last 2 crowds, Julie, were 49,000 and 41,000, and they've learned the game. They do the wave, they yell, ole, and they genuinely have a great time.
All right, well, thanks for stopping by, Jack.
Thanks, Julie.
Thank you very much, Julie. As the completion there to Thomas Woods, number 85, as he was able to break a tackle and get up near the first down markers. Jack Teal told us yesterday he was getting to see his kids for the first time in about 6 months. They were coming up from Southern California.
Yeah, from Long Beach, California.
And, of course, you and Jack worked together years ago with the Rams.
For 4 years,
Yeah.
you bet. You know, Jim Haslett, the defensive coordinator, has got to tell his secondary and remind them to come to balance better in trying to tackle Thomas Woods, because they're missing him every time. They've got to remind them to be a little more patient in their approach to tackling him.
3rd down and 2 for the Dragons, and movement once again. And so in another critical situation, we'll see who they're going to call it on.
I really believe it's on the offense. I don't believe the center snapped the ball.
The offense, 3rd down.
Again, they're in the shotgun for the first time. That quarterback is 6 yards away from the center. His hands aren't up underneath. That center isn't used to that sound command. He didn't hear it. He didn't snap the ball.
Are you saying Bobby Sign didn't get the signal, huh?
Oh, all right.
I'm sorry.
I'm glad it's the last game. I can't handle many more of those.
There's 52, Bobby Sign. I got to stick up for those centers, Dick, you know?
I know, yeah.
3rd down and 7. 12:42 to go. First half. No score in this game.
It looks like blitz. It is.
Ernie gets rid of it. Picked off. Picked off by Louis Riddick. Touchdown, Sacramento. 12 yards on the return. Second interception of the year for Louis Riddick out of Pitt.
See, they came up with a blitz, Roger. Turned the linebacker loose inside. See, now he's flushed right away. He lays it out there under pressure, and there's Riddick playing him. Man-to-man coming inside out on him. Picks it off, walks it in for the touchdown.
Mike Sinclair had the pressure that time on quarterback Scott Ernie. And we have seen so many times with Barcelona this year, they play good football. They're right there. The offense turns it over, then all of a sudden, a bad play by the offense again as the defense has been doing the job, as Kerry Blanchard, 17 of 17 this year on extra points, will come in. And he's done that in their last 4 games now, 18 of 18 as he joined them after the midway point of the season. So the defense comes up big for Sacramento.
You'll see the man-to-man coverage, Riddick right here on the man in motion as he goes across. Woods, he comes in and dissects it as they get the linebacker blitz up inside and Sinclair in his face to the outside. See the man-to-man coverage. Here comes the blitz up inside. He's flushed. There Sinclair gets in his face as well. He dissects it right there, inside out. Obviously, Scott Ernie didn't see him.
John Nees will kick it off. Dempsey Norman, 84, is back deep. Excuse me, number 82, Dempsey Norman. And across the 30 to the 31-yard line, 36-yard return by Dempsey Norman. After the play, this is what Scott Ernie had to say in regards to that interception.
Yeah, I didn't see that guy at all. I thought they blew coverage and he was flat, wide open.
All right, you know when they come with the blitz like that, it's going to be man.
Right, I thought that they'd left him go. I didn't see anybody on him.
Well, see, Riddick was chasing him all the way across the field. An experienced quarterback would have known all along that he's locked on.
First down and 10 for Barcelona. They trail at 7-0.
Blue 38. Blue 38.
Low snap that time. Ernie handles it. And overthrown, the intended receiver right there was Tony Moss, 87, first-year pro out of LSU.
Personally, Roger, I think Barcelona is playing right into Sacramento's hands. The defensive coaches from Sacramento told me we don't want them running. The best thing we do is defense the pass and rush the passer. Not intercept it, but rush the passer.
Well, they were scared that the Barcelona Dragons were going to run the football. And in all honesty, if there's a weak spot with Sacramento, they allow more yards per carry than any other team in the World League. But so far today, when they've tried to run with it, they've been totally ineffective. Second and 10. Going underneath. The man there is Tony Moss as they tried to drop that wide receiver behind the offensive line, but Derek Kelson, number 44 out of Purdue, was right there on top of him.
Really good. That was the inside middle screen, and he read it all the way and just went and picked it up. And I've been waiting for people to run the inside middle screen more to a running back, more so than to a wide receiver, because I do think it would be an effective offensive play.
Now all of a sudden you can feel that momentum of this game where Barcelona came out, had that good first drive, missed the field goal, tried to do something the second time offensively. Now all of a sudden, 3rd and 12.
It's blitz again.
Yeah. They're showing it from all sides, and whistle is blowing, penalty marker goes down.
See, when you don't run the football, you give the advantage to the offense in that they can get those 4 down linemen, wait for it, and they can rush without concern for the
False
run.
start before the snap, number 72 in the offense, still 3rd down.
Well, it's Jack Bicknell. His left tackle, Ike Harris, was the man with the false start.
Top left-hand side of your screen. You see him moving. See, he saw the blitz coming, and that made him a little nervous, and he moved outside to get the outside rusher, George Bethune, number 93.
Well, it was Perkins and Kelson showing blitz that time. And this is what you get yourself into. And an offensive lineman's worst nightmare is a 3rd down and 12, 3rd down and 17, because the defense is going to come one way.
Especially against the best pass rush team in the World League. 39 sacks, sacked the quarterback every 9th pass attempt. Outstanding pass rush.
Dragons 1 of 4 on 3rd down situations. Ernie is going to go downtown with it. And it's overthrown. The intended receiver down there was 85, Thomas Woods. Step for step was Robert McWright. I was talking to Jack Youngblood yesterday, who does the radio commentary for Sacramento. I asked him about their corners. He said, listen, those guys are really fast. They're 4-3 burners. He said they're going to take a few chances, get beat once in a while.
Well, Robert McBride is the corner that got beat early in the ball game, and unfortunately it was called back, but that did send an alert to him. From now on, sit back. These guys can run.
Keith English, the punter, back at his 11-yard line. And another penalty marker goes down. There was a man, it looked like a man on the field for Sacramento, but they're going to...
False start, number 90 on the offense.
You know, they missed it.
5-yard penalty.
There was a Sacramento player standing out on the field, and Kay Stevenson ran out there and got him.
They called a false start. You know, in punt formation, you're up in a 2-point stance, so you can move and reset. It's not like having your hand down in a 3-point stance, which you can't lift.
Barcelona 4 penalties for 20 yards, and that brings up a 4th down and 22. Eddie Brown is back deep.
He's had 2 blocked this year.
Brown at the 40. Penalty marker. Eddie Brown across midfield to the 47-yard line, where Adrian Jones, 23, who's from Missouri, and Brown from Iowa State, who played against each other in the Big 8, met head-to-head. But a penalty marker is down on the play.
There's the referee, Gary Lane.
You were impressed with Eddie Brown, what he does when he gets the football.
Oh, he does. He's an explosive type kid, and I know he has very good speed, but when you catch 12 touchdown passes, you're doing something right. 4 of them
holding.
Over.
Number 83 on the return team, 10-yard penalty, first down.
4 of those touchdowns were for better than 50 yards.
Paul Green got called for holding. 7-0. Sacramento leads it. Coming up on the Prudential Halftime Report, we'll have highlights of last night's Birmingham-Orlando game and talk live with quarterback Scott Mitchell of the Thunder. Dick and I will have first half analysis, and Jim and Julie with their locker room reports. And last night, Scott Mitchell, 11 of 19, 215 yards, and 3 touchdowns, and no interceptions.
Yeah, no PIs.
That is key right there. Eddie Brown again, as we look at David Archer. Even going back to his college days, he was always a big play man.
That's right, and even in the Canadian Football League both years, he averaged better than 21 yards per reception.
And Archer says what he loves to do is getting that little 5-yard hitch pass and then let him lurk out there with the defenders and make a big play out of it. Penalty marker down at the 35-yard line after the run into the line of scrimmage by 23 Mike Pringle.
They've got to throw Greg Gilbert out of the ballgame if they saw that for 2 plays, because he just threw a vicious right cross. In championship games, you got to keep your poise. Here's 51 Greg Gilbert in the middle of your screen. See, he got blocked, he got turned out, he didn't like it. Now watch this. He keeps going. There goes the right cross. Out of the ballgame for 2 plays.
Gilbert, 51, third-year pro from Alabama, will come out, and 90 Matt Kelly will come in to take his place.
A lack of self-discipline.
And that's something that Barcelona just doesn't need. I mean, they're just right on the edge right now in this game.
That's right. And what you mentioned earlier about Eric Naposki not playing. He's their first-string outside linebacker. Greg Gilbert second. Now they've got their third-string outside linebacker playing. Stupid on the part of Greg Gilbert.
Well, Jack Bicknell was letting him have it as he came off the field.
He's
first and 10 from the 49-yard line. Play action. Archer has got Pringle open. Pringle inside the 40. Down to the 34-yard line. The Cal State Fullerton product. Let's go down to Jim Valvano. Jim?
Hey, Rod, you know, I've always wondered, is the offense and the defense, they talk, they get along, they pay attention to each other. Well, the Sacramento Surge, I've been on 2 of their offensive meetings, and they're very concerned that they force their defense to stay on the field so long. They want to mount a drive. I also talked to David Archer and say, hey, what's going on? He said the Barcelona defense is so disciplined in their drops and their spacing is so good that he's been unable to find seams in that defense. But he's very confident, as the whole offense is, that they will find those seams and mount a drive. Back to you.
Okay, thank you, Jim. There's a man down on the field right now for the Barcelona Dragons. And temperatures above 90 today and rising. 9:04 to go, first half. We'll be back right after this. the way they dress in the desert. And they'll do it here in Sacramento this afternoon. Wet towels over the head, the baseball cap on. As game time temperature was 85 and rising, and by the middle of the afternoon, supposed to get up near 100 here. 1st and 10 for the Surge, and the pitch back will come to Pringle. Good defensive job right there by 51 Greg Gilbert, the man that had to go out for the 2 plays. And you like to see that. A guy makes a stupid mistake, comes out of the game for 2 plays. The coach jumps on him. He comes back in and makes a good stop.
Well, it was full flow, and they were in a strong formation to his side. Now you'll see him going to the right side of your screen. You'll see the linebacker here. You see Brad Quast, 55, tracking. There's Gilbert, number 51, working inside out. See, keeping him going to the sideline. Then if you don't get help, at least the sideline will help you. That time he just made the play by himself. Good play.
Came into the game with 25 tackles on the year. 2nd down and 14 as the Barcelona defense once more is asked to come up big as Carl Parker will go in motion to the far side. Archer's looking that way. Parker's got it inside the 20. And now, did he lose the football? One official is saying reception. The other one is saying no, he dropped it.
They might have knocked it out, but what Dave Archer told Jim Balbano about, he's going to try to find the seams. Well, that's what he was talking about. He found the seam in the zone down there between the corner and the safety. He threw it perfectly right in there. It would have been a little better throw if he'd have thrown the ball just a little lower. He sort of hung the guy out the drive. You'll see what I'm talking about here at the tail end of this play. He throws it down to the left-hand corner of your screen. Now see, it's high and up in the air, and he doesn't get it tucked away quickly enough, and it gets knocked out of there. Good safety play.
3rd down and 14. Pressure now. Archer goes up top. Archer took a mean hit that time at midfield. Adrian Jones was on the coverage, but it was 56 Ron Getz who was in his face.
You know, Barcelona has changed their personality. You'll see they're blitzing here. Barcelona almost never blitzes. They've already blitzed 3 times in this football game, and they're getting good pressure, as you see on that screen.
Well, when they've lost 3 guys in the starting secondary, you've got to change something, because obviously you're not going to have the same sort of talent level back there as you had before.
Yeah, but when you blitz, you're forcing them to man-to-man coverage. Well, you better get there.
You got to take some chances, man. Thomas Woods, 85, was a man back deep. His knees will send that high punt.
Nice punt.
And a good bounce. And it'll be down at about the 6-yard line. So nicely done there. The man to come down to put it down was Tony Burrs, 28. 31 yards on the punt by Neese, who I don't know if his dad's busy this week. He's an NBA referee. Will be. Coming up next Saturday at a special time, 1 Eastern, 12 noon Central, and 3 Pacific, ABC's Professional Bowlers Tour heads to Portland for the Oregon Open. And at 2:30 Eastern, ABC Sports will begin live weekend coverage of the Memorial Tournament, sponsored by Dean Witter. That's all coming up Saturday on ABC Sports. Barcelona, 1st and 10 from their own 6-yard line. Joe Mickles is the lone setback. Man in motion is Tony Moss. Mickles will get it. He's got some room up the middle. Mickles up to near the 15-yard line, where Lewis Riddick, 42 out of Pitt. 73 tackles by Riddick coming into the game.
You'll see here, you can't run unless you call it good zone man-to-man blocking. See, he gets the whole stretch up inside there. Linebacker vacated way too soon. Michael Jones, number 55, getting out of there too quick. He is awfully fast.
Brett Weesey, 79, had the key block there. 4th-year pro from Washington, 6'4" and 295. 2nd down, and let's call it about a yard. As they'll go inside to Mickles again, and he is stacked up right there. No room. David Westbrook, 77, 1st-year pro out of Howard University in our nation's capital, makes a stop.
See, the defensive front that time forced him to cut back a little more drastically to his left, and the defensive end, as you said, number 77, David Westbrook, was coming down from the backside, no place to go.
Dick, you know, this defense for Sacramento lost the #1 ranking to San Antonio by a mere 27 yards. Hope that didn't affect their bonus money at all. 3rd down and 1. Ernie got a guy, 81, Terry O'Shea. Terry O'Shea, who came into this game with just 7 receptions with his 2nd catch of the day. And I'll tell you, there's some action on the sideline between Demetrius Davis and 58 Randy Thornton, the pro wrestler again.
Again, we have temper flaring up down there. The time to show your championship poise is when you get a chance to play in a championship game. And they're not doing it right now.
There's Demetrius Davis out of Nevada, Reno. So he's not too far from home right here.
No, he's
About
from Vallejo.
Yeah,
Went
from
to
Vallejo, California.
That's not far. Someone said he had to get 200 tickets to come for his friends to come to the ball game.
I don't think he got him.
No?
I'll let you in on a secret.
There's not 200 extra.
No, there's not 200.
Unnecessary roughness. Number 58 on the defense, 15 yards, first down.
Well, that's Randy Thornton,
again,
known as RT in Japan on the pro wrestling circuit.
See, they were in an all-run formation to the right side of your screen. Now they fake and come out real strong fake. No one look at. They had 2 wing backs over there. Here he is, number 1. Then he gets the block downfield from Demetrius Davis, and he heads up the sideline and gets knocked out of bounds or just steps out of bounds before it's contact. So good call, guts call.
So Terry O'Shea, of all the receivers, had the fewest catches coming into the game, has gotten 2 so far. First and 10, Ernie will hand it off up the middle. Once again, they got a hole, and Joe Mickles, the third-year pro from Ole Miss, gets it to midfield, and another penalty marker goes down, as once again it's Demetrius Davis over on the far side. This time, I didn't see who he was mixing it up with.
Well, Ike Harris was involved in that, too, number 72, the big left tackle. The most important thing you can do with your intensity.
Conduct. Dead ball, number 86 on the white, number 72 on the offense. Both players are suspended for 2 downs.
Well, that was, they say Ike Harris, and then
Carl Parker. No, it wouldn't be Carl Parker.
I think he said 82 on the white.
Wrong. Yeah, he's got him wrong. I saw Ike Harris.
Ike Harris is going off, and it looks like 96 is coming off. That's Nate Hill.
Right in the center of your screen, you'll see it going right there. That's Nate Hill, 96, getting involved in it.
And Demetrius Davis just happened to be in the nearby.
See, but the trouble is now Ike Harris is out there. They have an offensive left tackle in there that's not an experienced offensive lineman.
That's Mike Hinnett, number 63 out of Temple, who's taken his place. As across midfield goes Joe Mickles, 5'11", 225.
Important to run the ball, Raj. You know, the teams that have winning records in the World League this year ran the ball 6 times a game more than the teams that have losing records. And the only way you can run it, Chuck Knox taught me this, is to call it. That's the only way you can. People give up on it too soon.
Well, you'd like to get that nice mix. Obviously, there are teams. Obviously, there are teams. I mean, Sacramento would like to throw it more than to run it, but you set up the pass by using the run.
Slow down the pass rush.
Exactly. 3rd and 4. 4:28 to go. First half. Ernie, right at the sticks. Number 85 makes the reception over there. That's Thomas Woods. Robert McBride on the coverage.
He didn't make the first down. You know something, in a championship game, I don't think he made it. You might as well go ahead and go for it on 4th and inches. Here it is. He goes back to catch the ball, and that's going to be a measurement. I don't know if he made it. But here you are, 4th and inches. What the heck? Call it and go for it.
Let's see if where the spot is, because I thought he just had to get to
it's close.
Right to the 45-yard line.
Do you agree with me, though?
Absolutely.
4th and inches. Hey, you know, granted, we're only in the 2nd quarter, but you're not a great offensive team anyway. You've got the ball on the plus side of the 50. Go ahead and see if you can get going.
But the other side of the coin is your strength is your defense. And the defense has come up strong here a couple times, especially on the last possession. If you punt it, try to get them down there in their own end zone. You got 4:03 to go. And maybe you think, hey, going out 7-0's not bad. This is an explosive offense. You know Sacramento's going to come on strong before it's all over.
Everything you say is true, but I'm not sure they're going to come on strong before it's all over. I still think they ought to go for it. They need this kind of lift. And if you can't make an inch, then you don't belong in a championship game.
Okay, well said. 4th down. So far this year, Barcelona 1 of 4.
Plus, it's not
down
my
possession. No, it's not. Yeah, it's not your deal, right? 1 of 4. Scott Ernie tries a quarterback sneak. And once again, that's the judgment call, the spot, if you will.
You know, I can remember this. The first major win against Dallas in the Eagle organization, we beat them on a similar play, but we went deep for the touchdown on 4th and inches and made it. Sometimes when a team is better than you, You've got to do the unusual, the unexpected.
Dick, on a quarterback sneak, did you tell your QB to go low, try to dive in and get down below people, or go up high, or just look for the opening?
Normally that was dictated by game plan. Normally you could see which defensive lineman, when he was in a gap, would come higher than the other, and you would pick that direction and try to get your offensive lineman underneath that guy and go in that direction.
Clock running. They did get the first down, of course, 1st and 10. Mickles busts off the right side. Mickles inside the 35 to the 33-yard line. And all of a sudden, Barcelona starting to run the football. Louis Riddick makes a stop after 11 yards on the pickup by Joe Mickles, who came into the game averaging just 3.2 yards a carry.
Very, very simple, basic running blocking. Just coming off man-to-man. Linebacker again flowing out of there a little too soon.
Now, Barcelona did not do many things very well offensively this year, and running certainly wasn't one of them. But right now, they are running the football as the clock moves down below 2:30. Left to go, first half, and Mickles will get it again. And he's stacked up right there.
That time they tried to trap block it up inside, and that gives a linebacker an initial read better than zone blocking, and it kept him in place, and he stepped up there and took it.
73, Bill Goldberg. 6'3", 270 out of Georgia. Made the stop.
You know, I watched him play on tape last week in their game against San Antonio. He really empties the bucket on every snap. He likes to play. He's a real bulldog.
We have reached the 2-minute warning. Sacramento leads Barcelona 7-0.
Before we made a driver's minivan airbag standard in the Plymouth Voyager and the Dodge Caravan, we tested it. We did the same with our available all-wheel drive and ABS brakes. And now, for 1992, Chrysler introduces the world's first built-in fold-away child seat. And for this latest achievement, we'd like to thank all the little people who made it possible.
Last time I stained my house with that other brand. This time, I'm using Thompson stain.
Only Thompson's House and Deck Stain contains Thompson's Water Seal. It waterproofs better than even the leading brand's premium stain.
Now that's beautiful protection.
Thompson's Stain.
In case you need to push your truck, Yokohama high-performance light truck tires.
Everybody hates to eat and run. We'd rather take it slow. But the way this life is going, gotta grab your food.
It's this time that Michael Jones this time did not flow out of there because his center blocked back, and Brent, we see the guard stepped around, and that gave him something to read, and he stepped up and took it on rather than base man-to-man blocking, see? And then he turned it right back into his buddy, Goldberg.
Well, Sacramento, their defense allowed 112.6 yards per game rushing this year, 4.6 per carry, the most in the World League. On 2nd and 9, Scott Ernie and the Barcelona Dragons with 2 minutes to go. First half, they trail by a touchdown. Coming near side, he's got his wide receiver over there, Tony Moss, and he gets, no, they're going to say he didn't get out of bounds.
You know that Sinclair and Brad Hinkey are really having a good fight over the Brad Hinkey, the offensive right tackle, and Mike Sinclair, the defensive left end. They're having a real good battle, Pass protection against a good pass rusher.
Junior Robinson made the tackle that time as the clock will continue to run now. There's a look at Junior Robinson out of East Carolina University, 5'9", 181. Pirates with a terrific team this past year. Ernie got once again number 87 over there, Tony Moss, the second leading receiver on the Barcelona Dragons. And that is a first down.
What the good thing he did, though, Roger, is he came back for the football away from the defender. Now watch the ball as it goes to the right of your screen. See him working back away from the defender. Good job of what we call the comeback route. Now old Sid Gilman, the old San Diego Charger coach, would love that. He's the guy that really brought those principles to the National Football League.
There's Moss, 5'8" and 175. Scott Ernie's got his team moving with 1:18 to go first half.
So,
Sacramento by Louis Riddick's interception for the touchdown leads Barcelona 7-0, but the Dragons have it 1st and 10 at the 17-yard line as they have been able to run the ball effectively on this drive.
Blue 38!
Paul Palmer's in there as a lone setback. And Ernie gets nailed back at the 27-yard line by number 73, Bill Goldberg, his 4th sack of the year.
Bill Goldberg beat Brett Weesey to the inside. Good contact. You can hear it up here. Let's take a listen. Ooh, that's smarts.
Well, they led the World League in sacks this year, and 14 different players, Dick, got in on sacks as Ernie loses the handle. Now he throws it. What a catch right there. 85, Thomas Woods brings it in at the 12-yard, make it the 16-yard line, excuse me. You know, what a scrambling effort right there by Scott Ernie.
Barcelona has not really been very good inside the red zone. They've only scored 6 touchdowns. The 21 times they're in there for just a little under 30%. Not very good.
Coming up on the Prudential Halftime Report, Scott Mitchell will be joining us live from Orlando to talk about their victory last night over Birmingham and their approach to the World Bowl next week in Montreal. It's back here. It's 3rd and 11, 41 seconds to go. The 14th play of the drive, and it looked like a Sacramento player jumped off as busting through to knock down the pass was 93 George Bethune, 3rd-year pro out of Alabama, but there is a penalty marker down.
I think Sacramento was offside, but Sacramento's done the same thing each time in this first half.
Lined up in the neutral zone, 5-yard penalty, repeat 3rd down.
It's just lined up wrong, but they've gotten you in 3rd and real long, and they've lined up and come after you with a blitz, and Barcelona has not been able to handle the blitz.
I see the timeouts remaining. The offense this year for Barcelona has produced only 8 touchdowns, 2 rushing, 6 passing. They have 10 touchdowns on the year.
See, but the other thing is what they've done with that 5-yard penalty. If they don't make it and have to go for a field goal, they've improved the percentages of making the field goal by not by like 12%.
3rd down and 6. Nichols is a lone setback. Fumble, and Ernie falls on it. Goodness, once again, every time they get themselves in a position to make something happen, a mistake.
Normally, in this situation, I think Ernie came out a little early. No, he had the ball like that. It got knocked out by his running back, Nichols. It got knocked out as he went back. He had it secure. He had it up in the proper position, up between the numbers, working his way back. Just didn't expect the running back to knock it out.
Clock continues to run. Teddy Garcia now from 36 yards out, 4 of 8 from 30 to 39 yards. He missed his first attempt at 46. And he got that one. So the Barcelona Dragons, boy, 16 plays on that drive, is able to get them 3 points. They'll take what they can get. Let's go down to Jim Valvano. Jim?
Coach Vermeer, a little coaching point here. I always felt that if I was playing the club that I was supposed to be, the longer that they stayed close, hey, that wasn't very good for my squad. And I think the fact that Barcelona, right, has scored at 7-3, and also the fact that Sacramento's defense has been on the field so long, that would cause me some concern.
I agree with you 100%, Jim. It isn't any difference in football or basketball. It's all the same.
Well, Saturday on ABC's Wide World of Sports, it's the toughest leg of the Chrysler Triple Crown Challenge. Preakness winner Pine Bluff will take on the